specifically obedient factory workers. The solution to this economic dilemma? It was an experiment of sorts. It hadn't been done before, until someone thought of it. Mandatory public school. Unfortunately, the initial purpose of the United States public school system was not to inspire children or generate scholars. And it wasn't created for dreamers, people who color outside the lines, break the rules, and challenge the status quo. The public school system of the early 1900s was invented to create a nation full of adults who would obediently do their jobs in the factory assembly lines. Teaching kids to sit in straight rows and scheduling the entire day with the ringing of bells wasn't by chance. Punishing those who didn't conform was purposeful. These were the skills they would need to join the labor force. Intentional or not, this early method of turning dreamers into workers was an investment in the nation's economic future. And it worked. This then led to several generations of productive, fully employed workers. But it isn't working anymore. Why? Our economy has changed. We don't live in an industrialized economy anymore. We live in a connected economy. Right now, there are more users on Facebook than there were people on the planet 200 years ago. Technology has made it possible for us to connect with people, ideas, and information from anywhere in the world instantaneously. And as a result, our economies have expanded from localized towns and communities to the entire world. We have globalized trade in nearly every way. In the past, the obedient, do-what-you're-told without question people were rewarded for working hard and putting their dreams aside in order to toe the line. They were given well-paying jobs that led to long-term careers. They were guaranteed pensions, benefits, and the promise that they would always be taken care of. And they were. But that promise is gone for most of us today. Even if you have a white-collar job, the majority of white-collar workers are still working in a factory. Instead of operating a sewing machine or welding a widget, they now push pencils, type on keyboards, or process paperwork. It's still factory work because the entire focus of the day is spent on increasing productivity, which leaves little room for creativity, spontaneity, or individuality. The educated, hard-working masses are still doing what they're told, but they're no longer getting what they deserve. Even if you do everything you are told to do today, graduate from high school, go to college, get a degree, work hard in whatever job you can find, if you're lucky enough to find one, you're not guaranteed anything. Companies are being forced to change or die right now. Layoffs happen much more often than job openings appear, and the highest paying jobs are disappearing or heading overseas at an alarming rate. If you have a job where your boss tells you exactly what to do, he or she will always find someone cheaper than you to do it. Did you know that the average length of a job today is about 4.5 years? Contrast that to the 1960s when it was 40 years. The connected economy rewards a different group of people. It rewards the people who see things differently, who don't conform, people who have ideas that no one else has, people who are willing to work hard but know that the old way of doing things is broken. The connected economy rewards you not for being a cog in the wheel of life, but for standing up and reaching out. The connected economy rewards the connectors. Whether it's connecting a person to a person, a business to a business to a product, or a product to a person, those who learn how to connect are the ones who will survive and excel in the connected economy. That is how the world has changed. It's not about to change, it already has. Things are different now, and they're not going back to the way they used to be. Look at Facebook. What's their product? It's you. Your network, your information, your ideas, they all have value. Does Facebook pay you for the money they make selling your information to advertisers? No. But we still use it because we have an innate desire to connect with people. In fact, neuroscientists have found that we are actually hardwired to connect with each other. Some people know how to leverage this innate ability in today's economy, but most don't. And because they don't know how to do it, most of them are paralyzed with fear, resisting the shift, despite clear indications telling them it's time to change. In 1917, a group of people performed an experiment that forever changed the way that we earned a living. The world today is facing another huge problem. We're facing a shortage of our own. Not a shortage of factory workers or consumers. The world has enough of those. We have a shortage today of dreamers and connectors. And so, we're holding our own little experiment. And you happen to be the subject of it. This 8-minute presentation was specifically designed to seek out and find the connectors around us. Those who recognize that we are on the brink of the next economic revolution, who are ready to thrive in the connected economy, and who are searching for the best way to do it. The internet and technology are rapidly changing the way that we do everything today, including how we make a living. It's not too late to embrace the change and find a way to make yourself relevant and profitable in our brave new world. And that's why we've invited you here today. We've created something that rewards you for connecting. It pays you for bringing people together behind a cause, product, or idea. And we have systematized it and made it so that you can do it from anywhere with anyone at any time. If you are passionate about helping people, if you are passionate about changing lives, if you want to position yourself to be a capitalizing force within the connected revolution instead of just a bystander, let's start now. Do you remember the moment you realized that the world had changed? How about the moment you realized you could change with it?
Good evening, everybody, and welcome to the Wealth Builders presentation of Karatbars International. My name is Mike Dalco, and I am blazing. I'm ecstatic to be sharing this information with you all tonight. I typed in the chat room as we're streaming this live on Facebook that I am on fire. And one of my business partners says she's going to get the extinguisher. I don't think you're going to get here quick enough, actually, but we're going to give this a shot tonight. And the reason why I'm so excited is because of, number one, all the amazing things that are going on with Karatbars International. But number two, Karatbars has literally changed my life and that of my family. I've been in the industry of networking for over 20 years. In 1993, I got in my first networking company. And then I've also been in the financial sector for over 15 years. So I was a mortgage banker, most recently with Wells Fargo. And in spite of everything I thought I knew about finances, I didn't know enough, because no matter how hard I worked and how much money it seemed I could earn, I could never seem to get free. Is there anybody listening to this stream tonight that wants to be free? If that's you, you're going to want to pay attention to the information I'm going to share with you in the next few moments. Grab some paper and a pen, take copious notes, because you'll want to share this with everybody you know. As a matter of fact, if you're watching via Facebook Live tonight, go ahead and click the share button, and let's share this out in massive numbers. Let's get this information out to as many people as possible, because, folks, as much as we've tried to learn, we've not learned enough, and there's more to learn, and the information is learnable, and it's all very simple. So I'm going to keep it as simple as possible. I'll try my best not to be overly verbose, but I'll try to share this information with clarity and concise, and be as concise as possible so that you can get it. And feel free to chat amongst yourself in the chat room. We've got lots of business partners that know about Karatbars International. If someone is sharing this on their Facebook page, be sure that when the presentation is over to get back to them, because they were good enough to share it out to their friends, and you were able to get on this information and learn what you need to learn about how to make Karatbars your vehicle to wealth and success. So Karatbars, a little bit over 4 years ago, a friend of mine shared a link with me. I didn't pay too much attention to it. I was a little burned out. I had been in networking, as I said, since '93, and I didn't want to do anything else. And then he said, Mike, he said, have you looked at the Karatbars video? And when he said Karatbars, I instantly thought nutritional, right? I thought it was bars with carrots in it and something for your eyes or something. And I was not interested in doing another lotion, potions, juice. Nothing wrong with those businesses. I had just been down that road, had the t-shirts and the caps, and had the juice in the garage that was rancid by this time. And I just didn't want to do it. And then he said, no, Mike, not carrots with a C, it's carrots with a K, as in gold. Well, that got my attention. That got my attention because I had always wanted to add gold to my financial portfolio, but every time, maybe like a lot of people, when I thought about gold, I thought about these huge Dury bars that you see on movies, and I said, I can't afford it. You know, 1 kilo of gold, $57,000. I can't afford it. No problem. I'm not going to do it. And he said, no, it's affordable gold by the gram. And I said, wow, I need to look. I looked at that video. It was at the time a 35-minute video, and I got halfway through it. And I was toast. I signed up, and the rest is history. 103 days after getting my business package, I walked away from Wells Fargo, and I have not punched a clock since. As a matter of fact, the only time my family sets an alarm clock is on Sunday when we're going to church. And so I'm going to share that information with you. I think it'll be a benefit to you as it has been for me and my family. Now, the first thing that I want to talk about is a plan. See, most people don't plan to fail. They simply fail to plan. And I don't think they do that nefariously or intentionally. I think people fail to plan because they just don't know that there's another way. See, we were handed a game plan. As small children, we were told to go to school, make good grades, obey your teachers, be quiet, be obedient. If you go to the principal's office, you're going to have problems with me when you get home. I'm going to whip you too. Get a good education so that you can graduate and get a scholarship so that you can go to college and get that nice coveted piece of paper so that you can do what? Exactly. Get a good job. And that's exactly what we did. We took full advantage of that plan that our grandparents gave our parents and our parents gave us. And you know, if your grandparents told your parents and your parents told you, it's got to be right, right? Well, obviously that plan did not work. Some people still think it works. And so they became an employee. They got a job just like I did. When I got my job at Wells Fargo, boy, I was excited. That was my dream job. As a mortgage banker, what could be better than working for a coveted company like Wells Fargo with that good brand? So I put my Wells Fargo shirt on and I went to work every day. Well, here's some real stats about employees. The United States Census Bureau statistics say that for every 100 employees, by the time they reach retirement age 65, only 1 out of 100 is wealthy. That means there's a 99% chance that you will not become wealthy being an employee. And of those 100, 3 still work. They're the people that when you walk into a department store, unfortunately, they've had to go back into the workforce. My wife and I were sitting down to lunch a few days ago, and this elderly gentleman waited on our table. And our hearts just broke because you could tell he was tired and worn and really not feeling like being at work, but he's doing what he had to do to take care of his family, and he had to be well over 60 years old. So even 3 people out of 100 after what is known as retirement age are still working. 4 of them possibly have enough to retire, and we're not sure what they did. Maybe they timed the market just right, which 95% of the people who have their wealth tied up in the stock market don't do. They don't time the market right. 4 out of that 100 had enough to retire, but they did not have enough to pass on a legacy to their loved ones. 63% of them, rather than passing on a legacy to their loved ones, actually passed on debt and ended up living with their loved ones, or at best, their loved ones having to take care of them. They're dependent on Social Security, charity, and family for their well-being. And then 29 of them didn't even make it to age 65. They worked until they died. So folks, 95% of the people who work until retirement age end up either dying or working past retirement, or at best not having enough to have any substantial retirement to pass on to a loved one. 1 out of 100 possibly ends up wealthy. Folks, I didn't like those odds. But just like most of you, I didn't know that there was a different way. And some people, they say, you know, I know how I can reach my goals. I'll just work faster. And they run out there and they get 2 jobs. They get a full-time job and a part-time job. I had one friend who had 2 full-time jobs and a part-time job. And I'm thinking to myself, dude, when do you see your family? When do you see your wife? He said, oh, I'm not married. I can see why, right? You know, I don't know a lot of women that like the fact that they don't ever see their spouse. So, folks, that's not the way to do it. And then ask yourself this question. If the job or career you perform were ever meant to make you truly wealthy and give you freedom, when is it going to happen? Does it make any sense for your boss to pay you enough where you can quit? No, we don't have to be rocket scientists here. Just use your logic. Does it make any sense for your boss to pay you enough where after 5 or 10 years you can say, boss, you know, this has been a good 10-year run and you've paid me so well till now I've had enough money to save where I no longer need to work for you. And he has to watch you retire from your job and then hire another person and start all over again. Does that make any sense? Well, I don't think it does. As a matter of fact, I heard one of my mentors say your boss is probably never going to pay you enough to be their neighbor. It only makes sense that they pay you just enough so you can't quit, so you can keep working. And then a lot of us try to get even and we work just hard enough so they don't fire us, right? So it's time for a reality check. Are you getting out of life what you want and deserve? Man, my wife and I went to the movies today and I saw a parking lot full of people. And I took a little video clip of it. I said, folks, people are not working anymore. I literally read a statistic that said by 2024, 62% of the people who currently look for a job are going to be working for themselves. And then this lady, as I'm doing the video, she said, oh, no, we still have jobs. We just playing hooky. I said, that was hilarious. But the point being, people are looking for a way to get out of that rat race and start living their dreams and having some freedom in their lives. And the second question I want to ask you is there anywhere out there, somewhere, a better way to build wealth, earn a living, and live your dreams? Most people, 95% of the people in the world, earn their money the same way. They are employees. That means they have a job. It also means they work for someone else. It also means more terribly that they are building someone else's wealth. They literally do the work that someone else who may be on the golf course or on the beach doesn't want to do or can't do or doesn't have the time to do. So they hire other people and they leverage their time to do the work that they can't do so that they can increase productivity and live the life of their dreams and pass on a legacy to their families while you continue to build wealth for them by being their employee. And worse, you teach your children to covet the job you have building their family's legacy. So not only do you build their legacy, your children go on to build their children's legacy. That's called having a job. Now, that sounds kind of terrible. I sound like I'm bashing a job. I'm only bashing the idea that there's not a better way. So hang around for a minute and you're going to see what I mean by that. Some people say, you know what? I'm going to stop working for other people and I'm going to work for myself. And that's called self-employed. Or in another way of putting it, you own a job. You see, my wife and I did some renovations to our home, and the contractors that did the renovations, they came in, they did an awesome job. But they had a few days during the months that they were here renovating that they weren't feeling well. The guy who was doing our flooring, his knees started hurting. He had to take several days off. The gentleman who was doing the finished work, he had a toothache and he had to take several days off. So while they were off, they were losing money because they couldn't finish our job and go on to another one. They had no leverage. In other words, if they weren't physically doing the work, they couldn't make any money. And so some people get smarter and they learn to own a business, and not just any regular sole proprietorship like owning a job. No, I mean where you have employees. You have employed a system, and now you have people and your system working for you. That's the reason why we have McDonald's on this slide right here, is because we're trying to show people how they can have a job And then they can move on and do something better by owning a business and having other people work for them. And so that's how we're able to build massive wealth, because we employ a system and the efforts of other people to work for us. And that's an excellent way to build wealth. Most of the wealthy people in the world own a business, and they own a big business. Now, then there's another way to build massive wealth, and that is to make your money work for you. And that's called the investor quadrant. And this cash flow quadrant was made famous by Mr. Robert Kiyosaki. And the closer you get to the right-hand side of the cash flow quadrant, the closer you get to building wealth. And so nothing can be better than having a system and other people and leveraging their time and efforts to help you build your wealth and having money work for you, because 100 people can always outwork one person, and your money will pay you while you sleep. That is the key to building wealth. And so, folks, we just need better education. And the most important education you can get is a financial education. You know, as a mortgage banker, I would sit in my cubicle, and when people would come in to buy a house, something that was conspicuously absent from their loan application, I did not ask to see their diploma. I did not ask to see their college degree. I didn't want to see their master's degree. I didn't care how many years. We would put it on there. It was called HMDA. It was HMDA information, but it was really for the government to track what people were buying homes and what people weren't. But it didn't help your loan application if you went to college. It didn't help your loan application if you graduated from high school. It didn't help your loan application if you made good grades. We didn't care. All we cared about was how much cash flow you had coming in and how many assets you had and what was your credit score, right? And the thing about that credit score is you couldn't will that credit score to your kids, so that even had a limited ability. And at the time when we were doing mortgages, you could have a bad credit score and a whole lot of money down, and we'll still give you a loan. That's a whole nother seminar. So here's the things you need to learn. Here's the financial education you need to acquire. Number one, if you learn this, you will be further ahead than 95% of the people in the world. And that is to pay yourself first. I was doing a seminar just a little while ago, a conference call, and it was talking to an investment team. And one of the things we spent the most amount of time on was differentiating between investing and saving. See, saving and investing are two different animals, and I like what my financial mentor says, Mr. Alan Austin, don't find out the hard way, right? Putting money in a 401k, that's not saving, that's investing, because the 401k is a stock market instrument. Saving and investing are different. Investment comes with it the risk of loss. Savings is storing your wealth. One portion of everything you earn is yours to keep forever. And many Americans don't have $10,000 in savings. Here in Georgia, where I live, 42% of the people in this state don't have $200 in the bank. So rule number one for building massive wealth, you must learn to pay yourself first. And don't pay yourself in paper. Rule number 1B is make sure that what you pay yourself is not made out of paper. Okay, because that's subject to the whims and woes of the market. Number 2, you must create residual income. Residual income is something that all successful people know, that you must find a way to make money while you sleep, or you will literally work until you die. So you must find a system that allows you to employ leverage, and that system will generate wealth, and we call that residual income. Number 3, you must learn how to solve taxation. The biggest expense most people have is not your mortgage, it's not your children's education, it is taxes. Upwards of 35% of everything you earn is siphoned from you in taxes. Folks, literally, you're taxed for 1/4 of the year. You have to work a job until April to pay Uncle Sam. And if you live in another country, I'm not sure what your tax laws are, but I have a sneaky suspicion that it's similar. You have to work 4 months out of the year just to break even. You start working for yourself starting in May. So taxes as a W-2 wage earner, if you don't get anything else out of this presentation tonight, you need a home-based business just to offset your tax liability. Having a home-based business is a great way to reduce your tax exposure. Then number 4, that other tax, that hidden tax that's levied upon citizens of the world is called inflation. Now, it's a dirty little trick. The Federal Reserve says a little bit of inflation is healthy for the economy. It might be healthy for the global economy, but it's not healthy for the economy in your own home. Let me prove it by a little story. You guys know that little show that used to come on called The Brady Bunch? Here's a story of a man named Brady. I started that key too high, so I'm not going to sing the rest of the song. But the fact of the matter is, he had 3 sons, and his wife, I forgot her name. Anyway, it doesn't matter. She had 3 daughters. They had a blended family, and they had a maid. They had 2 cars, and Mike Brady worked as an architect, and half the week he worked from home. They had a nice split-level home, 2 cars. The mom didn't have a job, and he was able to take care of 8 people in that house with 1 job. Now, art imitates life. Back in the 70s, a person could have 1 job. My sponsor in Karatbars told me that his father used to work in the mill, and he had that 1 job, and they had 8 kids, and he could make ends meet with 1 job in a mill. His mom didn't have a job, and he said he grew up, and he asked his dad before he died. He said, "Dad, how in the world did you take care of us with 1 job?" And they had their little emotional moment. His dad passed it on to him. But needless to say, flash forward to today, my sponsor has a really good job, and so does his wife, and they still have to work to support their family of 4. Folks, the world has changed, just like it said in that video, the connector video. The plan that we used to use to build and make a living, it doesn't work anymore. Now everybody's in, you can't wait till your kids turn 15 to get them a work permit so they can go work at McDonald's. It doesn't work anymore. Everybody's working. You're putting the dog in the dog show to try to get some extra cash in the house, right? It just doesn't work anymore, and that's because of the hidden tax called inflation. In 1973, Richard Nixon took the United States off the gold standard. I believe it was 1971. And from that day forward, after finally severing us from the Bretton Woods Agreement from the gold standard, the dollar has been in free fall. And because all the other national currencies are pegged to the dollar, it's just a whole global catastrophe of floating fiat currencies working their way to zero. It's not that prices are going up. It's that the buying power of your paper money and everything priced in paper, like stocks, bonds, 401ks, residual, money markets, mutual funds, IRAs, Roths, all of them are pegged to the dollar, and they're all collapsing. And the reason why you can't see it is because they're collapsing together, right? They say, well, the dollar is still king. Well, yeah, the dollar is still better than some other currency, maybe the peso, but it's just the tallest midget in the room. It's still collapsing. How do you know that? Well, I'll talk about that in just a moment. So we've talked about the problems to building wealth. Now let's talk about the solutions. The solution can be found in 1 simple word: Karatbars. Or in 3 simple words, as Reggie Scott says, Karatbars, Karatbars, Karatbars. Because Karatbars is a goal acquisition, wealth building, financial freedom, and payment system that allows you to save the money that you want to keep in gold and get paid when you share with others how to do the same. Karatbars International was founded in 2011 in Stuttgart, Germany. And I love the fact that it was founded in Germany because Germany is one of the toughest places in the world to do commerce and business. Strict German laws in Germany. And we're right down the street from Mercedes-Benz headquarters in the prestigious district there in Stuttgart, Germany. So I love that about the company. It gives us a lot of credibility. We're doing business in over 120 countries, and we're the largest distributor of small gold bars in the world. Debt-free company. Our founder, the illustrious Mr. Harold Seitz, is being featured on magazines around the world. He has his own magazine, and he has written a book about the financial arena. It's called The Future of Money. You want to go on Amazon and pick that book up. It talks about how money is changing, even in the cryptocurrency world. Mr. Seitz is a visionary in the financial sector. He's actually a senator in Europe and in the Economic Council. And I want to read this mission word for word because it's powerful. My mission is to produce the highest quality of gold available in the market, making it easily accessible to the masses of honest people around the world at a price point everyone can afford. My mission is that Karatbars helps millions find financial freedom from the current system of debt. And I must say right there, Mr. Health Sites, job well done. He is doing that. He is helping millions find financial freedom from the current system of debt, and you can too. And we have a proven system of 3 optional ways to participate. Option 1, and I did say optional. All of this is optional. Option 1, just do what the wealthy do. Just save gold. Don't make it complicated. Don't compare it to your financial plan of investing. Don't compare it with any other 401k, derivative stocks, bonds, mutual funds, capital gains. Don't compare it to any of that. It's an entirely different species, okay? Just save gold. Gold is not subject to the risk of the market, so just save gold. The problem has been traditionally that most people don't know where they can get gold from a reputable dealer, and they don't think they can afford it. Well, Karatbars has changed all that. So just save gold. Now, why would you save gold? Because gold, folks, is money. Contrary to what most of us believe, that little green stuff in our pocket is money, it's just a currency. Gold is real money because it is a safe store of value and wealth. Well, let's prove it. Why gold instead of paper? The purchasing of gold versus the dollar. In 1971, 60 ounces of gold would buy a vehicle. It would buy an automobile. Today, that same 60 ounces of gold, you can cash it in and buy 3 automobiles. Let's give another example. Why save gold instead of paper? In 1971, when the dollar was on a partial gold standard, you would have 1 gram of gold and $1, and they had almost the same value. $1, you could take it to the store and buy 4 loaves of bread. 1 gram of gold, you could cash it in and purchase 5 loaves of bread. They were almost the same. Flash forward to today, you could take that same gram of gold, if you hid it under your mattress and cashed it in, you could purchase over 20 loaves of bread. My business partner in South Africa said with a gram of gold, you could cash it in and purchase over 60 loaves of bread. So it has even more value in other countries. But with that dollar, you can't even buy 1 loaf of bread, just a couple of slices. And I don't know of any companies that sell bread by the slice. Okay, so let me give you another example. Let's look at it in monetary terms. If you saved $1,000 in 1971, today it would only have the buying power of $165 and some change. But had you simply had the presence of mind to exchange it for gold in 1971, it would have purchased 24.6 ounces of gold, which today would be worth over $32,000. If you saved in paper for that same time period, you lost 83.5% of your wealth. If you saved in gold, you gained 3,130% in wealth. So it's simple. You don't need a college degree for this. You don't need to be a financial guru. Just save gold. That's it. Statistical proof. Even since as early history as 2001, gold has increased 396%, and that's with no taxes, no fees, no middleman, no penalties for early withdrawal, none of that. Just save gold, but not just any gold. Save Karatbars gold. Why? Why Karatbars gold? Well, number one, we make it in small, transaction-friendly, recognizable, affordable increments of 1, 2.5, and 5 grams. It's 24 karat, 999.9, the finest quality gold that you can acquire in the market. There's only really one other company that I can think of with the same asset class of gold that we have. And so why Karatbars? Because we make gold affordable to the masses. And if you can't afford 1 gram, Karatbars has its patented product called Cash Gold, which allows you to get gold in 1/10 of a gram increments. 1/10 of a gram, 2/10 of a gram, 4/10 of a gram, and even 6/10 of a gram. And they didn't stop there. That Cash Gold product is so popular, so they've even created a KaratPay Cash Gold card, which allows you to now get Cash Gold in 1 gram, 3 grams, and 6 gram Cash Gold cards with the Karatbars KaratPay logo on it, and the same fineness of gold, 24 karat, 999.9, 24 karat gold in cash gold cards. And then, if that's not enough, we have our CaratPay app, which allows you to get nano increments of gold. I mean, literally, you can transfer fractions of grams of gold from one person to another or from one business to another, which brings me to my next reason why you should only get Karatbars gold, which is K Exchange, which allows you to exchange Karatbars gold only for products, goods, and services at participating K Exchange stores and businesses around the world. And if that's not enough, every time you save cash gold, Karatbars at this time has a special promotional which gives you free, and I do mean free, as an added bonus for saving cash gold in its cards or in its cash gold bills. Karatbars gives you free cryptocurrency. Has anybody heard of cryptocurrency? Well, most people, when they acquire cryptocurrency, it's a highly speculative asset, and there's a lot of risk, and it's highly volatile. Karatbars has taken away that volatility because every time you save cash gold with Karatbars, you get free Karat Bank coin token. That is astounding. So not only does Karatbars give you the only system in the world where you can acquire free gold, we're now the only system in the world where you can acquire free cryptocurrency with all the benefits of positioning yourself for a windfall in the cryptocurrency space with absolutely none of the risk. Option number 2, save and earn. If all the things that I just told you about why you need to save Karatbars gold make sense to you, then it's certainly going to make sense to share that with some other people, right? Yes or yes, right? So when you share with others, you sign up for your free account, and then you share a video with others, similar to the presentation I'm giving you tonight. If the people you share it with see an opportunity and start saving gold and acquiring free gold through commissions and free cryptocurrency through saving cash gold, you're going to earn a commission between 0.5% up to 6% paid out monthly. And you're also going to earn free gold through our loyalty rewards bonus. And so that's how you save and earn. And then if you want to earn even more, the third option is even more powerful. Save and earn by acquiring a business package with Karatbars International and maximize your income potential. You can choose from any one of our 4 business packages. We have our bronze package, which is around $200 based on your currency exchange and the price of gold at the time of your purchase. Or you can get the silver package, which is around $450 one time out of pocket for life with no monthly expenses. Or you can get the gold package around $1,200 once out of pocket for life. Or the VIP package, around $2,500 one time out of pocket for life. It really doesn't matter which package you choose because you can always upgrade to the next highest package simply by paying the difference. However, if you start at silver, gold, or VIP, you also get free cryptocurrency just by acquiring the business package. That is amazing. All these packages are income-producing tax-deductible assets, and once you acquire the package, you have no expenses to run your global business ever. I had an interesting question today. Karatbars has so much integrity that when they send you the package, they actually break down to you what's in each package and the value of each product inside the package. And so the person says, well, if this is all the value in the package, why am I paying $200 for my bronze package? And I asked them this question. I said, how much does it cost to purchase, own, and operate a global e-commerce business? And I heard crickets. And that's the answer. What are you paying for? You're paying for a higher commission structure on a bigger e-commerce business. And that is the power, once again, of Karatbars International. And this is as simple as 1, 2, 3. Once you acquire your business package, you simply upload your KYC documents, which stands for Know Your Customer, and then you set yourself up on your voluntary auto exchange. The minimum is €50. It can be monthly, bi-weekly, or weekly. Set yourself up on an automatic savings plan, and then just refer at least 2 others in the dual team system. Why 2? Because you have a dual team, and it takes 2 to activate your dual team. And then teach your 2 or more to duplicate that simple process. Now, let's see how that looks. The system of duplication. You sign up, you get your business package, you set up your voluntary auto exchange, you choose the amount, and then sponsor at least 2 other people on a planet of 7 billion that this makes sense to. They'll acquire their business package. You'll teach them to choose how much they want to save and keep their money in gold each month, and then they'll duplicate your efforts. Anybody can do this, and those people will do the same that you did. They'll get their business package, save gold, go and share with some other people how to do the same, who will get their business package, save gold, and go and share with some other people how to do the same. And this process continues to infinity. As the people that they share it with save gold, acquire business packages, share with others, you continue to grow your global network of gold savers, and it will not stop, because all you're doing is showing people how to save gold for themselves. You're saving gold for yourself, and you're making a lot of money. Now let's take a look at how the dual system works. It works on something called the accumulation of units. You're going to have a left team and a right team. That's why we say sponsor 2 people right now. And that process continues to infinity. Every time anyone on your left or right team saves gold, gets any product from the e-commerce system, or acquires a business package, every product has a unit value attached to it. And when you accumulate 25 units on one team and 50 units on the other team, that creates a dual team payout. And based on the business package you choose, that will determine how much that payout amount is. And so you get to determine how much you get paid. And again, I love harping on this. It really doesn't matter which package you choose, because you can earn up to 180,000 dual team payouts per week. And folks, they don't send you a check. You get paid on your own customized Karatbars Global MasterCard. And that's the way you move your money in and out. You can order it from your back office, and then they even pay you in grams of gold that is stored in your free gold savings account. And so, folks, I know people like to do their research. That's why I love Karatbars, because I'm a nerdy kind of guy. I did my research, and I was Googling and doing my research, and then my sponsor said, Mike, what are you Googling? All the gold comes from London Bullion Market Association refineries and mints. We're doing business in over 100 countries of people that have done their Google lawyering, and we get our product delivered by FedEx. Mike, he said, Mike, don't you think FedEx was smart enough to check Herald Sites and Karatbars out before they decided to deliver their product all over the world and risk their business model? He said, Mike, what are you Googling? He said, FedEx has more resources than you do. And of course, MasterCard, their whole business model is finding out whether people are creditworthy or not. So who can do more research than MasterCard? They're in the financial sector. And then we even have a program called our branding card program. And the Vatican checked us out and said, yeah, let's do 100,000 branded cards with Pope John Paul's picture on it nonetheless, with a gram of Karatbars gold in the center. They ordered 100,000 cards. They sanctioned the production of 100,000 cards and sold out. It was so successful, they did a second run of 100,000 and sold out. And they're on their third run. It's benefiting their Catholic charities. And then there are thousands upon thousands of satisfied customers and affiliates worldwide. So folks, you don't have to do any research, because people with more resources than you have already done the research. All you need to do is take action. It's as easy as 1, 2, 3. Save a lot of gold, tell a lot of people, and folks, you're going to make a lot of money. It's not if, it's just when. Put your focus on learning how to sponsor people, share with individuals how to look at a simple video or how to attend a presentation like this one. We do 2 or 3 of these a week. We have daily calls called our power call. We have weekly leadership calls called the Freedom Call with our amazing senior partner, Mr. Ty Best, who I believe he's on this call tonight. If he wants to say a word, I'm going to give him a chance at the conclusion of this presentation. He does that Freedom Call every Wednesday night. He's been leading people to freedom for the last 30 years in this industry. Have live presentations right here on goldrocks.info, and we even have live events which we have a monster live event coming up in April 27th and 28th. As a matter of fact, I'm not going to talk about it. Let me play this quick commercial that talks about the Let's Go Weekend. Give a listen to this, folks.
It's that time again. Let's Go Weekend 6 is almost here. Get ready for the most explosive gold party of the year. It will be held April 27th and 28th at the Renaissance Concourse Atlanta Airport Hotel, located at 1 Hartsville Center Parkway, Atlanta, Georgia, 30254. Look who's coming. Network Marketing Hall of Famer, Mr. Ty Best. Karatbars' #1 affiliate, Mrs. Cheryl Ann Gober. Karatbars' international superstar, Mrs. Tammy Morrison. Everyone's favorite pastor, Dr. Patrice Gordon. The Golden Rock Star, Mr. Brian Cromley. The one and only CEO, Mr. Michael Dalco. Karatbars' Gold Director Elite 3, Miss Nitsa Nakos. The Financial Oracle, Mr. Alan Austin. And the Power Call moderator team, Roger Williams, Sheila Abram, Maxine Jones, Rodney Berger, Matthew Taylor, and the Real Browns, Willie and Sherry. There will be a meet and greet on Thursday, April the 26th from 5 to 7 p.m. in the Hotel Bar and Restaurant. On Friday, April the 27th at 7 p.m., there will be a live Karatbars presentation for the general public, so invite everyone you know. Super Saturday the 28th is for affiliates only and will be filled with inspiration and motivation from our top producers, so get your team there. Don't delay. Mark your calendar now for April 27th and 28th, 2018, and visit www.letsgoweekend.com for tickets and hotel reservations. This is sure to be a sold-out event. We would like to say thank you to our visionary founder and CEO, Mr. Harold Seitz. He is literally changing the world 1 gram of gold at a time. Let's get inspired.
Let's get motivated.
Get ready for the weekend. And let's go!
Guys, thank you very much for giving me a chance to present Karatbars to you tonight. It's been a pleasure doing so.